Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Friday. All you weekend chasers, your time is here. No more work for a few days. You can finally take a deep breath, breathe, relax, and enjoy a few days of life because, unfortunately, in our society, so many people work at a place that doesn't feed their soul and doesn't fulfill them. So they spend time wishing time away and calling in the weekend or your time off, and what a waste of a beautiful life that we have. So I challenge you to find an occupation that you love and you enjoy, or find a way to make money for yourself and be your own boss, or something that feeds your soul that doesn't leave you wishing away time. Today I wanted to talk about things that can raise your vibrational frequency and the energy that you emit from your being. And the number one thing for me in my journey and my path that has helped me the most and helped bring me out of a mindset of a pessimistic a mouthful, pessimistic mindset, and being what I considered a realist, because the only real thing about my old mindset was the fact that it was real programmed and real ego and fear driven. So the one thing that really helped me was expressing gratitude. And when I started this journey, I decided that I was going to make gratitude videos, and I did about 6 months of gratitude videos. Nearly every day, I would make a video about something that I'm grateful for, and I wouldn't just talk about it, but I would feel it, and the gratitude would rush over my body, and I would just feel so amazing after making those videos, and it just really created a space of abundance and love. Because when you count your blessings and you're grateful for the things that you do have, it connects you to source and lets the source know that what you have is enough. And when you feel like you're already enough and you feel grateful for the things that you have, more things that align with your true essence and your soul will come into your life. So expressing gratitude for me is probably the quickest and most powerful way to raise your vibration. Another one that is big that a lot of people don't do is small acts of kindness or acts of kindness. And this is really unfortunate. You don't see it much, but even as far as holding the door for a stranger or saying hello with a smile, those things can really not only raise your vibration, but can shift somebody's day or life in a totally different direction, and really help uplift them and give them hope for their future. And there's also science behind it, medical science, that says the chemicals released during small acts of kindness when you're doing something for somebody else is actually doubled of what the person that is receiving the act of kindness. So when you do something kind for somebody, they have a certain amount of dopamine that's released, and it makes them feel good and it makes them happy, and oh man, somebody's doing something for me. Well, studies show that you actually release twice the amount of dopamine when you are engaging in the act of kindness. So just something to keep in mind as you move throughout your life and find yourself in ruts where you need to dig out and raise your vibration. So the third one is, oh man, there's so many. Food. Being mindful of the food that you consume, because the food that you consume is energy. We consume stuff for energy, to replenish our energy. And when you are eating junk food, processed foods, dead meat, as much as I hate to say it, because I personally enjoy meat, but the fact that you're consuming dead flesh, it's very low vibrational, and it can bring you down, and it can weigh on you, especially the more mindful you get of how the meat is processed and how the animals are slaughtered. Um, it really tugs at the heartstrings and makes you reevaluate your relationship with meat. And and don't get me wrong, I still eat chicken. And occasionally, I went on a bachelor party a few weeks ago, and we had big old burgers and steak, and man, they were delicious. Don't get me wrong, but man, they fucked my stomach up because I'm not accustomed to it, and eating red meat doesn't really align with my path anymore. So being mindful of the food, fruits, vegetables, preferably organic without the pesticides and all of that shit that companies put on it, on the crops and whatnot, that can affect your fruits and vegetables. So just be mindful of your diet and what you're consuming, and that'll help in itself raise your vibration and help lift you up to a more pure state of happiness and a more pure state of being. Um, so another one is, one thing I love to do is to dance. And when I am at home, I crank up the music and I dance and I clean and I just move. And positive movement stirs up positive energy and raises your vibration, because when you dance, it makes you feel good, and it releases those endorphins and those feel good chemicals, and it's good for your physical body too. Movement keeps you limber and keeps you young and keeps the vitality in your life, and so you can live a long, healthy life. Anybody that knows me knows I love to dance. Sometimes I wear people out just watching me dancing, but man, it's something that I really enjoy. And I'm not saying that I can dance, but I just let the energy move through my body and I have a good time with it. So the last one I wanted to talk about, which is another big one in my journey and my path that I use to help rewire my mind and help become what I wanted to become, is affirmations. And what an affirmation is to state something as fact means to affirm it. And when you state something as fact repeatedly, it starts to become reality in your mind, because your mind is creating neural pathways to make you think and make you be the things that you want to be. And when you do that, that's really taking your life by the balls, if you will, and creating the person that you want to be. So some of my beginning affirmations were, I am open and I am positive, because at the time I was a negative, pessimistic person that was closed off, and you couldn't tell me shit. So open and positive was one of my beginning affirmations that I used to really start to crack my heart open and to dive within myself to become the best version of myself. Because man, I was comfortable, I was cruising, but I didn't realize how unhappy I was with myself, because I had been living a programmed, ego-driven life for 30 years of my existence in this manifestation, and it was toxic, and I didn't even realize it. So you got affirmations, dancing, high vibrational foods, what else? Gratitude, and just being kind to people and loving people with no conditions and no expectations of return. So just a few things you can do to raise your vibrational output and emit a more pure, heart-centered energy into this world. And once you do these things and you start to raise your vibration, you start to get this glow about you, and your inner light from your soul starts to shine out, and people gravitate to you, and people will look to you for guidance and look to you for an example to follow, to help better themselves, to become the best versions of themselves. Not because you're better than them, because there's no hierarchy. We are all on our own journey. But when people are ready, it's always nice to have that guidance and someone to look to say, I don't want to be like them. I want to do the things that they do so I can be the best version of myself. And I want to put practices into place. And not everything that works for me is going to work for you, but challenge you to hold on to positivity and love yourself and give yourself grace and find what works for you. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend, and I will see you very soon.